Some of you may know Simon from his YouTube channel, from his professional tennis career, from his college tennis career, from the famous pancake serve tutorials and videos. But we had Simon on just as someone that wants to share his experience. Simon recently announced that he is stepping away from the full-time content creation of matches and life as a pro tennis player on his channel, and we wanted to bring him on to talk about his next step to his journey, recapping what he's learned on the tour, what people can expect from the tour, and more behind the scenes look of what he has personally experienced, of what it's like to create content and be a full-time tennis player, traveling around the world, traveling 10 out of the last 12 months on tour. And we wanted to bring that experience to you guys. So I hope you do enjoy this interview with Simon. But before we start, make sure you are subscribed to the Tweener Tennis channel. We would love to have you guys join. Our goal is to hit the 6,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And if some of you may not know this, but over 90% of you that are watching this video right now are not even subscribed, and we would love to have you guys on the channel with us as well. So make sure you're subscribed. Leave a comment of what you think of Simon's journey in his YouTube channel. Please feel free to ask him a question. Maybe he'll respond to it. And make sure you are subscribed to the Tweener Tennis channel. Now enjoy our interview with former professional tennis player Simon. We are all good. Simon, this is probably the best background we've had for a guest on our channel. I'm not going to lie, and that's probably just someone's backyard. So Simon, welcome to the channel. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Great to be here. I'll move I can even move the background here to make it look a
Oh,
little better.
that's even more
Is it better?
fun. No,
What
it's up to you. I like this. Changing the location already. I don't, I love
No,
it. For those of
that
you
was fun.
that don't know, yeah. While we're
All right.
changing the location, um, if you don't know Simon, Simon's been on his journey being a pro tennis player and has recently decided to go from content creator and tennis player to now joining the workforce, I would say, being a part of a startup and being kind of personally, one of the first tennis players to record and document their journey being a pro tennis player, playing in challengers, playing in bigger events than most. And we wanted to bring Simon on to kind of talk about his journey leading up to his recent decision of stepping away from professional tennis. And Simon, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's great to be here. And
Um,
awesome.
so where do we start with you? Because I feel like getting to this point's a longer journey for you, but what made you start with the YouTube channel that people know you from? What was that first idea like for
Yeah,
you?
I mean, I think I've always kind of enjoyed like content creation or like just making videos, like filming some stuff. Like probably a lot of my friends in college and stuff always thought it was a little annoying, like bringing out the camera every now and then because I thought it was fun to just, record. I used to put it up when we play like spike ball. I would have a camera in
Oh,
the
I love
back, kind
that.
of recording it because I don't know, thought it was fun. And I think once I started playing professional tennis,
Yeah.
I didn't think too much about it. But then as I went to all these futures and stuff, I just started to see that there was so much great tennis being played, and there was nobody in the stands like watching it. And I think that's kind of where the idea started igniting a little bit. I was like, I mean, I would love to just see if I could find a way to maybe share this with more people. And I think I actually deleted these videos from my channel because I thought they were so bad. But like back in 2019, I actually remember these first matches. I recorded and posted them. I was playing like Sharm el Sheikh matches, and I just put up a camera somewhere and like pretty horrible like quality and everything. I just had it up there and I cut together like highlights and I posted, and I think like 25 people maybe watched it on
Okay.
YouTube. And I
Okay.
think I actually did like it's 10 of those videos when I was there playing the tournaments.
Okay.
Then I just didn't really think too much about it, to be honest. But
And which video made you kind of get like say, oh, maybe I can actually do something with this?
well, like that's actually pretty funny because I remember. So I have the pancake serve.
Yes.
If yeah, so
And a
I
5-step
think
course too, if people don't know that. He has a course of how to do the pancake serve. So if you want to learn how to do that, I would highly recommend you do that.
make sure to check it out. Have you checked
Yes.
it? I gotta send it to you.
Yes. I've seen you do it. It's on your socials, but I haven't done the course. I'd be very interested to see if I could do that.
It was good. It's a great learning experience making a course too, because it was like, really try to break it down as easy, like quickly as like, from
Really?
the all
Oh, I
from
love
the
that.
like the boss and everything, like how
Wow.
you can kind of approach it and how I
Okay.
think about it.
Okay.
And yeah, we'll see. I
I'll
mean,
I'll
maybe
have
I'll
to
do it
check
too.
it out
No,
now.
yeah.
Uh,
No, but it was actually funny though. So like, I think it was in 2019. I posted the serve and it went like pretty viral, like functional
mhm,
tennis, and a lot of bigger accounts like started reposting it and stuff. And I got like a lot of people coming to my Instagram or something.
mhm.
But I was like clueless. I was like, I had no clue what to do with it. I was like, I guess I went like pretty viral, but
Yeah.
I was like, "Hey, it's cool, but like now what, I guess." And then I started playing a lot, and then COVID hit. And I remember during COVID, like financially, like as with a lot of people, it just got kind of tricky
Mhm.
with things, and like some sponsors obviously took the money away and things. And I just remember it's pretty tough to be so dependent on like your results.
Mhm.
Like the sponsors, everything. Like if you're winning, you're great. If you're
Yeah.
losing, you're shit. And I was kind of thinking, like at the end of the day, it's
It's
entertainment.
just
Like so, if a lot of people enjoy it, so like maybe if I'm losing, people enjoy it too, and if I
yeah.
win, so they like take that pressure off a little bit.
Mhm.
But just trying to like, if he wants to like try to figure out ways to survive, because I wanted
Mhm.
to keep pursuing tennis.
Yeah.
And then I kind of put up a little game plan so that like when I was the same time in 2020,
Mhm.
I think. I remember I was like, all right, I'll be curious to see if I can try to go viral again with this pancake serve.
Okay.
But then before that, I was like, all right, I have a lot of footage for like matches and stuff. So I remember I grinded like crazy to get like 10 videos out on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
Nobody was watching it. And I remember I was like, all right, I'm gonna see if I can try to go viral again. And when I go viral, I'll try to push everybody to that channel.
Okay.
And then I managed to go viral again, and I managed to push a lot of people to my YouTube channel. And then it like spiked, and I was like, "Oh, this is crazy! Like, this is so easy." And then
Oh, it's so easy.
I was like, "What's going on?" Like, and then like a week went by, and everybody disappeared except for like the 10%.
That's YouTube right there. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, look, so many people are watching.
yeah.
5% are sticking around.
No, but I mean, but that was the cool part, though, I guess. Like, I managed to get over. I would say that what I've learned is the toughest hump for a lot of
Yeah.
people to get up to like a 2,000 subscribers or something, like a
Yeah.
thousand and all that stuff. So I managed to like get through that. So then I
Mhm.
had a little bit of an audience at least that was kind of like wanted to see more.
Mhm.
And then from that, I felt like I just really try to stay consistent and get a lot of content out there. And then I guess it steadily started growing a little bit.
And when you talk about consistency, how many videos were you posting a week at the beginning versus like the last year you were doing this? Like
I
how
mean, I've gone down for sure, but like I
Mhm.
remember initially I was doing like 2, 3 long videos a week, and I was doing a
Wow.
short every day.
Okay.
And I probably did that the first 2 years maybe.
Okay.
So I was probably doing like on average, probably like 2 longer videos a week, and then a short pretty much every day. Like on average, I guess over the whole year,
Yeah.
you could like 5 a week short videos.
Jeez.
So I was kind of just like,
So you were
I
really, really
was just
grinding
grinding it,
of
to be honest.
just,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put stuff out no matter what it is. I'm just gonna throw it out there just to see what happens.
No, I mean, like, yeah, I didn't have like a full strategy, but I mean, obviously try to get like as good content out there as possible. And I remember I
Mhm.
tried out different things. I would do like commentary. I had no clue how to do like the commentary, I guess. So it was like, I was like, do I just have a video and I would like, fast forward to the next point
Yeah.
because there's like 20 seconds between the points, and I'm just gonna sit there like look at the
Yeah.
camera or something. So it was
Like,
like,
what do you do?
yeah, it
Exactly.
was such like a trial and error process of it all. Like I tried this content, and I remember I was sitting like hours like trying to figure out like when people do voiceovers, do they like first do the video and then
Yeah.
do the voice, or they do the voice first and I
Yeah.
was
Like you're trying to balance, okay, how do I structure this? without
Yeah.
failing, because it seems so simple when people create this type of content, yourself, Karu, um, so many others right now on YouTube that do this commentary over their own match play. But it's even Tennis Brothers. That's another one that just came to mind. Like
Yeah.
doing that and then putting it all together and cutting down to which parts you want to show versus playing like an hour match, not even like an hour set, and you're trimming it down to probably 5, 10 points per like 2, 3 games, and you're not even showing the whole thing. So it's really,
Yeah, I mean,
you have to be
I've tried
very
everything.
specific.
I mean, like the videos I did in Sharm el Sheikh, I showed every point, every point.
Wow.
I, yeah, so I cut every point, and I remember I've done that for a few matches, and I was always kind of curious to see if people wanted to see the whole like dynamic of it, because
Yeah.
I know personally from watching the top guys play
Yeah.
that you can easily get tricked if you watch, the highlights, and you're just like, oh, these guys are just banging winners every ball
Yeah.
they see. But if you actually watch like the full like the full match, like
Yeah.
they're missing a lot of shots too, and like here and there, like they're far from hitting winners all the time.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was curious to see like if people would enjoy if I did it like that.
Yeah.
But I think overall the interest was a lot lower when I tried to do that. So I think you need a little more high pace, and I was just trying to find a balance of that, like you're
Yeah.
talking about in a way.
I
But
but I like that because it shows you. I feel like content nowadays has gone just, that's why people watch shorts, TikTok, Instagram Reels, because it's short form content. But now all the short form content is becoming longer because now they get everyone's attention, and now it's going to, oh, now you can do shorts that they're releasing. I think at the time we're recording this, they're releasing shorts that can do 3 minutes long now instead
okay.
of 60 seconds being the max. So it's like, how can you really like get someone's attention within 5 seconds? And then how do you keep it to continuously, of course. Sorry, my good camera is now, where are we? And let's see if it comes back. Yeah, there we go. See, now it's much closer. Um, but yeah, the amount of content that you need to create to just get someone's attention is immense, especially in tennis when you have that much content that you have to narrow it down to.
It's tricky. I mean, I really, I'm kind of running on this theory now that it kind of all kind of goes up and down a little bit. Like
Hmm.
that now it's been so much about like attention grabbing stuff.
Yeah.
Also with we just kind of seen it go overboard with all the, influencers and like advertising and inserts and everything. It just becomes like very
Repetitive.
unauthentic. What do you call it? Yeah, I don't know what you call it, but
Repetitive. It is
yeah, and like,
unauthentic, and it's
yeah, and it's like
it's
just
the
not
same
really
type
fun.
of rhythm too. Like everyone
Yeah,
has the same hooks, everyone has the same like flashes,
yeah.
sound effects, um,
And
like
I mean,
type of coloring too. It's like, which one is there another formula to push something, or is it, do you have to do everything else?
I mean, I like, one hand, obviously, like it works, I guess, because
Yeah.
that's the reason why people do it. But then I really have this theory, though, that like very soon, or it's like becoming a shift towards more like just authentic
Okay.
content creator. Like Sam Sulek, for example,
Which one's Sam?
he's a workout guy, like gym guy,
Okay.
bodybuilder kind of thing.
Okay.
He just like um, I think he became kind of I don't know the full story with it, but either way, he just like records when he just goes, works out, and then goes back, and he kind of just record like he puts a camera and just talks to people, and
Yeah.
it was just really cool because it became like a very close community of people that just really enjoy
Mhm.
his like daily rides to the gym, his workout, and then he goes
Yeah.
back and he's just like, kind of like just talking with them.
Yeah.
That like that kind of content where he just seems like a very nice guy and he's just sharing his story and a lot of people resonate with it and enjoy following that process
Yeah.
compared to just like the dopamine content that
I
you just
like
get
that.
stuck, you're just watching it, you didn't even know what you're watching.
But you're just
You're-
like, this is entertaining. It's like
and like,
everyone talks about the TikTok black hole. Like you go and
yeah,
you're
yeah,
like, I'm good, I'm good. And then you wake up and it's like 2 hours later and you're like, I just wasted my whole morning
yeah,
looking at my phone. Like, how did this happen?
Yeah, so I mean, it's somehow just finding that balance. But I think at the end of the day, and that's probably why I like took the decisions I've done,
Hmm.
uh, that I just wanted to kind of do what I want to do in a way,
Yeah.
and just try to showcase that, and then see if people kind of resonate with that, and just kind of do it my own way and do the
Hmm.
content I really enjoy doing. Because I mean, at the end of the day, I think if you're not really enjoying it, it's gonna come across on the camera too, and people are probably not
Yeah.
gonna enjoy it as much because you can feel the energy in a way,
You
you know.
you can feel when something feels forced, and that's when not
Yeah.
what you're trying to do, especially on YouTube. Though, like, oh, what's his name? Brian, uh, the kid that constantly does travel vlogs with Airbnb. Like he does, it just seems like a genuine person. And seeing how much effort they put into it, or just seeing like them being creative in their own way and genuinely feeling excited is something else. And for you, if we were to go along those lines, when you were recording on the road at these challengers, at these ITFs, what was that feeling like of basically doing two jobs at once?
I mean, to be honest, I never thought about it. For me, I was like, this is what I need to do to kind of keep this going. Like, I don't really
Okay.
have any sponsor sponsoring me for my level. I was getting injured, and I was like, all right, like I want to keep playing tennis.
Yeah.
And for me, this is like the way I can keep playing.
Yeah.
So that's what I started doing, and I started doing like online coaching as well.
Hmm.
So I
Okay.
remember I had so many like memories that I was just sitting in these like horrible hotel rooms, like in the basements, and like writing up on a whiteboard, like giving tips to people, doing like
Oh, I
online
love
coaching
that.
sessions and stuff. But it was weird, like looking back at it. I never really like I was just like enjoying it, just trying to figure out. Like in hindsight now, I feel like I learned so much from those experiences, which is awesome. But like when I was in it, it was like I just wanted to keep playing professional tennis,
Mhm.
and I was like, I just want to figure out a way to keep doing this anyway.
Okay. So you think doing the channel helped you kind of keep your passion for playing, or was it the other way around? Like you played professional tennis and that kept you feeling like I can still continue to film.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, like it probably goes both ways, but what you say, I mean, that for sure probably now thinking about it more, I never actually thought about it, but I know for sure that the YouTube channel and people kind of being very encouraging, like commenting and actually seeing like how many people, like, having like 10,000 people watching the videos
Yeah.
is obviously huge, like confidence boot. And like, 50 people like commentating saying, I'm great, keep going.
Yeah.
That really for sure affected it a lot. And not to go in there too much, but like, Swedish tennis has had a lot of issues, I would say, like on the higher up federation, like how to kind of channel like professional tennis players from Sweden, and it just kind of ended up that everybody was doing their own thing.
Yeah.
So I want to say that I was very lonely out there.
Hmm.
Obviously, I had a lot of friends, but like I never felt like I really had a team or anything. So I was just alone a lot of times trying to figure it
Hmm.
out,
Yeah.
and that's probably for sure where the YouTube thing became a huge part of it. To
Okay.
like that I almost wanted to do it like for them or like with them and everything. I was like, all right, I'm tired, but I gotta, do the matches and play that. And these guys are counting on me to keep fighting. So I just keep doing it. So it just kind of like just naturally, I was
Wow.
just feeding off it a lot for sure.
I feel like that's you don't really hear you always hear about the negative side of comments. You always hear the negative side of social media, what affects people and what affects their psyche. And I mean, for you, it just seems like you had more positive comments or a more positive community than other people that usually have internet trolls in their comments. Or like, if we take a look at all tennis players that post about they get all this hate, all these requests of like messages of people that are betters that are like screaming at them because they lost their match, which by the way is completely, excuse my language, fucking stupid. Because why would you wouldn't do that if like say you're an account and you messed up on your spreadsheet, no one's going to go to your Instagram and yell at you and threaten to kill your family. Like that makes no sense. So for
I mean,
you, go
I've
ahead.
gotten a lot of those. I'll tell
Have
you
you
that. I mean,
really?
yeah, crazy amounts for sure.
Really?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how did you so the bad comments were those on your videos or were those more Instagram?
A lot of Instagram, I would say. Like
Okay.
I remember once I didn't like on Facebook, Messenger, you can have
Yeah.
like message requests. I didn't even know that part. And I remember
Okay.
one day I found out about it. So I looked in there and I had like 50 messages of people like just like hate you. Like I'm gonna find like and then
Oh
yeah,
God.
and then obviously on Instagram requests, that's kind of where it all is.
Yeah. It
But
stays
to
there.
me, yeah, I mean but like I never gave it too much thought, to be honest, because I feel like I've seen a lot of people engage in these like comments that
Mhm.
a lot of people give maybe bad comments or like, I mean, I remember I've got a few of those like in my retirement videos, like it's about time, like you never could have hacked it anyways. And for me, I just thought it was like kind of funny. Like I was
Thanks.
like,
Never heard
no,
from you before in my life, but okay. Thanks. Like,
no, but I mean, I guess that's how you look at it. But I always thought it was like not to encourage it or anything, but like on those, I thought it was like sometimes a little funny. But then obviously, like when it gets overboard with these like
hmm,
messages after you lose matches and those I just when I could just see that it was bad, I would just delete those messages. I wouldn't even open them because I just like
gotcha.
didn't want to, yeah,
Okay.
didn't even like, think about it to be honest. Because, but I think at the end of the day, though, if you focus on the positives, I think that all kind of gets neglected. Like you
Mm,
just don't see it as much if you just focus on the positive stuff.
mm,
At the end of the day, there's so many, people commenting very nicely,
mm.
shooting great messages every now and then. I'll get these voice messages from kids sometimes, and I thought it was just,
Really?
I don't know, yeah, it would just feed me so much. They're like, yeah, it's picked up tennis. I really want to go to college. I have these huge goals, and these parents, like I remember, I got a lot of parents actually that would text me and say like, one of the best times of my day now is coming home, and my kid wants to watch like your videos, and we watch your videos together, like just
That's
watch like
awesome.
tennis highlights.
That's
So
amazing.
those are obviously like, if I just focus on those, I kind of just forget about the other ones. I would
Love
say
that.
pretty
That
pretty
that's
quickly.
so, but that's so wholesome. Like having the ability to like have people connect to you in a way that makes both parties feel good and satisfied. Did you see that kind of impact for your channel?
I mean, I never thought about it. That was like never a goal. I just thought I'd like see if I could share my tennis insight somehow, or just kind of
Yeah.
like my experience. I would say like as my tournaments and everything started increasing, it was tougher and tougher for me to like give more insight. It was more like I'll just do the highlights and try to do my best to like
Mhm.
joking with some more what's going on.
Yeah.
But I mean, just to see that people found value in it was always the biggest gift for me. Like, and yeah, it just kind of happened more naturally, I guess.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think my whole idea with the channel from the beginning was always to kind of like share my journey because I don't feel like I know know what's right or wrong or like what's good or not. And I always just felt like, all right, if I just share what I'm doing and people, if they just pick up on some stuff and just
Mhm.
learn from some of the mistakes and whatnot, and I mean, most people can just figure it out on their own
Yeah.
what they want to take in and not. Yeah, so I just share my experience and then people can do with it what they want. I feel like, um,
It's the only way to do it because you can only lead someone through your own perspective to what they want to think about or what they want to decide, right? You're not forcing them to pick a side. You're not forcing them to decide on anything really. You're just giving them a perspective and see what they want to do. Like the parents talking with their kids, like they want to go to college. Let's follow Simon's journey. Like because for you, you played a high level college tennis. You've hit with some of the best players in the world. And for you in your journey, did you have how would I put this? You didn't have any regrets doing what you did, correct?
yeah, I don't have any regrets really with any of the decisions that I made. I mean, because again, I like, yeah, just so much about like just seeing the glass half full.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I mean, sure, maybe I could have worked on my serve more when I was a kid,
Hmm.
but I feel like because I had a bad serve, I learned to return pretty well. And then,
Love it.
I don't know. The more you can obviously go down the rabbit hole, like what if, but then you can also go down the rabbit hole the other way. I feel like, well, what if
Yeah.
I didn't do that? Maybe I never would have learned this. So it's like, I just feel like it's constantly that glass half full or half empty, like however you want to look at it.
Yeah.
And for me, I've gotten to the point now where at least where I see everything pretty half full, and then I'm pretty happy with how most things turns out, and
And it's
trying to
turned out
figure it out.
for, yeah, it's turned into everything happens for a reason. Your life kind of has led you to this point, and for you on the tour, what was the feeling of being on tour and seeing up close what the lower levels, the challengers, and seeing what actually goes on and be a part of that professional world? What was one thing that you realized once you got to the tour and you were doing these videos? Was there anything that you couldn't share, or was there anything that you wanted to share, but you hesitated about?
I I loved it, but I also hated it to one extent. Like I always felt like there was such a bad structure of it all.
Okay.
Like the way everything works with like tournaments just scattered. You go to these venues and it's like you're on two different side of it. You like you have the players and then you have kind of the organizers.
Yeah.
And I never felt like you're there for the same reason.
In
You
what
know,
way?
like I just feel like maybe I'm focusing in too much on like maybe the worst places.
Mm,
But a lot of times I feel like they would just kind of view the players and just kind of try to use them as much as possible for own
mm. For
personal
their own
gain. Like,
personal gain.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And if we're gonna go down that rabbit hole, I guess, I mean, like I haven't done a deep dive into it, but that's also a part that the more read about it or thought about it, got me more and more frustrated because there's a lot of great tennis players on futures level, challengers and whatnot, and obviously you constantly hear about the issue with prize money and expenses and like trying to make a living of it. And then I found out about all these like, obviously betting websites, like you can bet on all these futures matches and
Yeah.
stuff.
You can bet
And in order
on almost everything now in terms of you can bet on, I think you can, I don't know if you
UTR
can,
betting, right?
yeah, you can do UTR Pro Series now, can't you?
Yeah. And I heard something about, I don't know if college tennis though.
College tennis,
Maybe.
you can't. I haven't seen
Maybe.
anything on betting websites or anything for that.
But either way, so I mean, I just read a little bit about something that, how they sell all the data. Because
Yeah.
obviously in order to bet on it, they have to like get out the info somewhere.
Mhm.
And then so the ITF or ATP, and they were selling the data of the
Mhm.
players' matches.
Yeah.
And then these guys would sell it then to the sports betting companies.
Yeah.
And so that's where I got kind of frustrated with it because I feel like something's not right there.
Mhm.
So like from the people's like the players' perspective, everybody's kind of complaining that there's not enough prize money.
Mhm.
And then obviously the main argument we hear back is that, well, there's not enough people watching you. Like there's not enough interest. Like there's nobody, you can't sell tickets and whatnot.
Yeah.
But then there is obviously a lot of financial gain in it for sports betting companies, like to have these rights. I don't know how much money is being bet on these matches, but I'm pretty sure it's a lot more than the $200 that these guys are playing the matches for in the futures level.
Yeah.
And that's where it's just like it just feels like there's a huge discrepancy there between the
Mhm.
money that's being made on this sport
Mhm.
and the money that actually goes to the players.
So if we're going down that road, which is a interesting road to think about, if we go down that road, do you think tournaments should have betting sponsors? Because here's where I think the Changeover podcast just talked about this.
Yeah.
How anywhere now, including the US, like the US, they have sports books inside NFL, MLB arenas. You
Yeah.
can go specifically to places to bet on games. You can do it in most of the United States now. And I know in Europe, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
But I think the first time we saw it was it Betway at Miami and FanDuel and DraftKings when it first became legal for tennis. But players can't receive. I think that's why Bob Bryan was suspended from the US Davis Cup team because he promoted a gambling website. But you have all these tournaments and going along your train of thought, that personal gain that can receive money for being a sponsor, but yet no player is ever going to see that money or go back into it because it's illegal.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, I think it's really like, the chicken and egg thing. Like they talk about like, yeah, you don't want to have the sponsors included, but obviously like that would generate a lot more, like, because they're scared about people, was
Growing.
it fixing matches and
Yeah.
stuff. But that's where it's like, well, probably a big reason why a lot of people fix matches is because they're struggling financially with it all.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, maybe if they're fixing the matches, they're probably not the best guys to begin with. But either way, it's like just the way the money is spread out and like having these betting companies and everything. I just, from a player's perspective, I just really feel like the players are being abused a lot, or like just being taken advantage of
Okay.
very strongly. And my issue with it all also is that I feel like they somehow managed to create this narrative that it's like the player's fault in a way. So like
Keep,
like
go ahead.
you're not good enough. Like you're not making enough money, and then you're complaining about it, and everybody kind of goes like, well, you're not good enough. Like that's why you're not making enough money. Like if you get to top 100 in the world, then you start making some money. So you're just not good enough. But that's where it's like it's just, I get that point, but it
Hmm.
just doesn't make sense when other people are actually making a lot of money on the level of tennis that I'm performing at right now.
Yes.
So that's
Yeah.
where it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Because if we go back to you've probably seen this more up close than I have, but everyone probably 500 up has the same skill. Like everyone knows how to play. Like everyone's a good tennis player. Everyone has that same skill level. And yet there's only a few factors that make a difference, and a big difference when it comes to, and personally, I think it's a lot of mental when it comes to that. And it's not the player's fault. It's, if we go back to, like you said, the chicken and the egg, what if you marketed the tournaments better? What if you helped build a bigger brand? Why didn't you focus on creating a better environment for the players or a better environment for the tournament? Shit, the Pilot Pen in Connecticut and the Connecticut Open, you can just give tickets to schools. You can give tickets to tennis clubs, like free, like just to fill a section. Like you don't, it's not that hard. I feel
Yeah.
like for a marketing standpoint, you just have to put in the effort to make it grow.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And I really think that, I mean, I think that tennis in a way has kind of hid behind the, the image of being like a traditional game and like just being very traditional in ways how the tournaments are and everything. And me, filming and trying to be, I guess, maybe modern in a way,
Yeah,
like trying to market the tournaments and everything in a more modern way. I mean, I've been turned down like multiple times to record my matches, like a
really.
tournament. Yeah, yeah. They just don't say
ITF or challenger level?
ITFs and then yeah, challengers too. ATP, I didn't ask. I wasn't allowed to, but I just kind of did it. My
Proud of
uh
you. I'm very proud of you.
but but I mean, like, there's a reason why. Like, I know a lot of people now that I guess tennis content has started to pick up, which I'm like super happy about. That there's so many guys like futures filming their matches.
Yeah,
I had some people like reach out to me that are ATP players and like, yeah, I'm thinking about doing it. Like, you have any tips and stuff?
yeah.
But the big issue there is that there's so much restrictions about it. Like, you can't film, like, you can't record like practice.
The copyrighted and media rights that the ATP has solidified their owning of everything. And I've had this problem in the past where at ATP tournaments, you're not allowed to film any matches. You can only take photographs. You can't film anything. And I've come into that. I've been told to take things down. I've been told, like, I've been restricted to what I can shoot and what I can't. But for me, it's, how are we supposed to create content if the only people that have the rights to the fucking content don't share it with anyone? And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
it's like, oh, we're going to take all these accounts down for sharing this one thing from Tennis TV or this one thing from ATP Tour. But don't you want that out there? Don't you want to promote this
yeah,
and the new media And the new way of going about covering sports is by allowing to create content based off that. Plus, aren't you the owner of your own image and rights? Like, how does that
Exactly.
work?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so I've had that issue. Like we talked about it and different things, but it's like, yeah, when I play my matches, I have a certain amount of like rights, obviously, to my like my own videos of
Yeah.
myself. But I haven't vetted like every year you have to pay a license in order to be a professional tennis player. Like you have to pay the ITF player license. And you also like when you get up to a higher ranking, so you could or like when you get into you can start playing challengers and stuff.
Yeah.
You have to get like a player zone membership, which is like a higher license to play on
Okay.
the higher tours. Like for
Yeah.
challengers and ATPs, it's like an ATP membership in a way.
Okay.
The other one is like an ITF membership.
Okay.
And I'm assuming that in those, when you're signed to become a member, you're kind of like giving away your rights. You know, you're kind of giving them the rights to own you in
Okay.
a way.
Like just
And
your
I mean,
image. It's like signing an image and likeness contract that
I'm
they own the
assuming it's like,
rights.
yeah, I
Yeah.
assume that. I mean, I haven't vetted it, so I don't know, but I'm that would make a lot of sense if that's how it works.
Hmm.
And I mean, maybe from their perspective, they needed to or they wanted to be like that, but it's just, it's like you say, a lot of things have changed the last 10 years. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, probably like the last year, a lot changed. Like it's changing so fast, obviously, with
Yeah.
content marketing, like how everything goes about. And I just feel like tennis is very, very much lacking behind on a lot of ways,
So
unfortunately.
it's sad, but I think one of the things that I find ironic, and this is not a dig in any way towards this player, but if we look at Kazakina doing vlogs and you look at her showing behind the scenes content, it's awesome. It's amazing. I think that this should have been done years ago. Her channel would have blown up by now. And it's still growing, but it should have been bigger because no one had access to it. But because she's a top player and she is drawing more people in, they're allowing it. The other big question is again, not just stating the facts. Taylor Fritz's girlfriend, she gets to film him playing matches. She gets to film match footage. Yet I don't see any copyrighted content being hit to her channel or to any of her like content. But
Yeah,
someone like me or yourself will get a lot of backlash from it from the higher ups because it's not someone that's high profile.
yeah. No, I mean it's tricky. I mean, and that's probably at the end of the day where I also like ultimately just felt like I didn't really want to be a part of it anymore. Like I
Okay.
love tennis and I love sports and everything, but I just on one hand, obviously it's great that there is a tour and everything, like in order for it to be like I mean it needs to
Yeah.
be in order, they be tour and
Yeah.
everything is great. But I just feel like it just doesn't make sense from a player's perspective too much, to be honest. Like the career and everything.
Do you
It's
think go ahead, sorry.
no, it's just yeah, it's just been very draining. I just kind of got over it, I guess. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense from like I mean it's kind of like if you're an employee and you're just not happy with the work environment.
Yeah.
Like at a certain extent, like I can complain all I want to the company or to the work, but if they don't make the changes and I'm not in, then I don't know, but it's just part ways, I guess.
But that's what it's funny you put it that way too, because that is your job. You're an independent contractor that works for a union, and that's what pro tennis is. Like there's not
Yeah,
really anything you can do about it because you kind of, like you said before, signed your thing away.
yeah. I mean, and there's so many ways that I mean, obviously it's easy for me to say like, yeah, you can make these improvements here and there, but it's just a lot of things that like in my head, it's like, how can you not fix this? Which would be so much better for everybody.
Hmm.
Which is like things. So for example, I mean, I played tournaments in South America, so I played in
Hmm.
Paraguay, and then the week after we are playing in Brazil, and then the week after was not a tournament in Brazil. So it's a block of three tournaments there. 95% of the people playing the first tournament are going to the second tournament, and the second are going to the third.
Yeah.
And I just remember talking to people because we're playing the matches and we made it a little deeper, and then we haven't booked our ticket because you obviously the final doubles is Saturday and
Yeah.
singles is Sunday. So you
Yeah.
can't really book a ticket until you know what day
What's
you're flying
happening?
out. And the next tournament starts on Monday for the singles guys. So like if unless you're in the final, you would probably prefer to fly as quickly as possible or like, before so you have a little time to prepare there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, yeah. But that, for example, so I had to fly I was in Paraguay, I had to fly to Chile and then from Chile to Brazil. So it was like a crazy and last minute ticket, and it was like
Jeez.
I cost probably like 600 euros just to fly that because I had to buy the ticket,
600 for that?
Yeah, I think it was like 600 euros or something.
Did you
Or no,
break even
no, I was losing money there.
for
But
making a double for making a final?
no, I think it was Paraguay. We made I mean that one we lost second round and I played singles. That was the first week of
Okay.
South America. But either way, so my point is though that just if they just organized maybe because there is 40, 50 people that needs to travel from one spot to the other. There's some kind of either maybe a partnership or something with a certain airline that they get a little discount on that
Yeah.
route between maybe Thursday or Friday or whatnot, and then on Sunday or something they can organize maybe a plane to just take people.
Yeah.
If you're 30 people, 50 people, maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like those things which could be so good from both the airline that they could be like an official partner of the ATP or something like that or sponsor,
Yeah.
or you can do it from like obviously the player's perspective. It's so much, yeah, it's just so much more convenient.
So what's your thoughts on the PTPA?
Uh, I mean, I think it's great. I mean, I haven't looked into it too much. I would be lying if I said I knew everything about it. But I
So
think
how
it's
much
great. It
how
needs to
much do
be
you
like,
know about that? Like for a guy that was lower ranked but still was putting out content and being a part of the ATV
yeah.
sphere, what was your thought process on having someone to
No,
represent players like that?
I thought it was great. I mean, I thought PTPA like for me, obviously I was so young. Like when I got into it, I didn't really know like unions. I didn't even know what it was and like work and like all that
Yeah.
stuff. So when it came up and like when I started learning a little bit more about it, then in a way it was like it's kind of crazy that we don't have this
Yeah.
because there's nobody representing the players. It's pretty much like an organization doing
Yeah.
whatever they want in a way, and nobody can go against it unless
Yeah.
you start your own tennis tour, pretty much,
Yeah, pretty much. Which
which is
is
going to be tough,
yeah,
most people.
which is another
But then,
factor.
so for me, it felt like a no-brainer. But then seeing all like how tough it's been for them to make any progress and get anywhere, it's like it's tough, I guess. Like I mean, and I think I'm a part of it. Like I mean, I'm pretty sure I've signed some like that I'm a part of it, like supporting it, and then
Yeah.
helped out sometimes when they've announced a few people to represent like certain regions and players and stuff.
Mhm.
So I want to say I've done my part to a certain extent, like trying, but um I haven't understood it all, to be honest, exactly like how they're trying to push for, like what change it. They come up with a few things like, yeah, they partner up with Hilton, for example.
Mhm.
You could get some discounts, but then I look into it and it only applies to like the top 100 people. So then it
Oh,
didn't really
really?
matter. Yeah, like, yeah. The majority of I mean, the majority, not to, well, I guess I mean, yeah, the absolute majority of all the things that I've gotten like on emails from PTPA has always been centered around like top, I think 250 singles and top 100 doubles maybe. Because I think that's where the ATP actually, I don't know if you knew this, but the ATP has like different levels. So you can get into like Division 1 uh membership and you get a lot of perks if you're an ATP player. So if you're top 250 singles and top 100 doubles, you're in like Division 1.
Okay.
Then you get like discount.
Please subscribe. Thanks.
I'm
I
a part of
lost
like
you.
division. I'm a part of like Division 2 membership on the
Okay.
ATP tour. So which like if you're 250 doubles or 500 singles.
So
And with that one,
what do you get for perks if you don't mind me asking?
um, I mean I can probably find it here, but it's like I can practice at some academies
Okay.
for free. I've never done it, so I don't know. Like you have to ask them, I guess, to come if they have spots or something.
Okay.
But a lot of academy like uh yeah, a few academies, and then you can get like some discounts on yeah, golf set from Ping, I think. You can get like rental cars. You get like if you're under 26, they've waived the under 26 fee, I think.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, I can actually look at here. I don't know if I'm allowed to share it. Probably. Yeah.
Let's
Oh,
see.
here's like benefits. I don't know if you can see it. All benefits.
Oh my God.
Um, Coursera.
See, this is
Uh,
the, no offense, but this is the stuff that you don't hear, or no one understands this behind the scenes look. And this is what I feel like a lot of information is lost, because there's probably, you just showed me like one thing and it looks like there's seven different things that I just want to read through tonight just to
yeah.
understand.
If you're group one, it's called group one, group two. So I'm group two, I guess.
Okay.
So if you're group one, you get ATP tennis TV complimentary.
Oh, good. Great.
Like you just get
Awesome.
yeah, tennis point. If you're group one, you get 35% off. Yeah, you have to be group one for it, I guess.
That's wild.
Social media account verification. If you're group one, you could get a social media verification badge.
Well, now you can pay for it, so it doesn't.
Right. Yeah,
That's
a beach report.
that's
So
wild to me.
you get 20% off on 6 rental cars, I guess.
This is very enticing, Simon.
Well, I don't know much. Yeah, I mean, it's probably nice in ways, but it's yeah,
I
yeah,
know
having
what you I know what you mean.
but
It's
it's nice.
it's good, but it's also like, stop
I mean,
throwing things at me. Just make it overall better.
yeah, no. Isaac, where were we before this? Before I kind of dissected it,
Yeah.
like,
For
well, with the PTPA though.
yes.
Yeah, as mentioned, I mean, yeah. So the majority of things are kind of tailored to the top guys.
Yeah.
So I think the focus, I don't know if it's meant to be, but I actually think I unsubscribed from the emails because all the emails was like not relevant to me anymore.
Wow.
Because it was always like about those benefits, Hilton, and it was like I would
Yeah.
look into it. You could like request to learn more about it, and I requested, and I did that like 3 times on 3 different benefits,
Yeah.
and every time they were like, "Yeah, you're not,
You
uh,
don't qualify.
yeah, you don't qualify for it, pretty much."
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's a big web, and I feel like it's with anything in the world. Like the more you look into it, or like the more you try to learn something, the more you realize that you don't understand. It's just kind
Fair.
of you're just going down that
Fair.
web, and I just
Fair. 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 Fair.
but
Fair. Um, if we were to kind of transition into what you're doing now, you announced
yeah,
that you're working with a startup now. You've joined the startup world. How you mentioned it before we started recording too, what that feels like to kind of have a little bit more freedom, having
yeah.
a consistent job. Walk us through that process.
Well, it's still, I mean, it's a startup, so it's a little up in the air. Like we're trying to figure it out as we go. Um,
Hmm.
but I would say the biggest structure and part of it is obviously being able to be home more. I mean, getting to an age where like other priorities with girlfriend and family at home
Hmm.
and other people. It's That's kind of the opportunity cost you don't think about as much. When you're in
Hmm.
your low 20s, you're just getting out of college, and all your friends are kind of traveling around and just all over the place.
Yeah.
But then once you can start getting closer to 30, a lot more people are starting to settle down and like calm down a little bit and kind of have that lifestyle. And yeah, I mean, just having that structure really is a different. I
Yeah.
mean, I really enjoy it. Like I like that part, and it's kind of what I talked about too in my video that I'm just ready for like the next chapter.
Hmm.
Like as much as I may be whining about certain things and like the tour and everything. I mean, at the end of the day, it was a really good experience all the time that I played there, tournaments
Hmm.
and all that stuff. And I really enjoyed that part of my life.
Hmm.
I mean, that's some of my best memories traveling around like my first year of professional tennis.
Yeah.
I wish I started recording YouTube that. Like I was traveling with some of my best friends. I was actually at his wedding 3 days ago. So but Justin Butch and Harrison Richmond, we had like, so many funny tournaments and travels and all that stuff and just competing together. It's just so many great memories. But as mentioned, it was kind of like that chapter, and now I'm kind of ready for the next chapter, I guess.
It it's been a huge process, kind of. I guess how long were you deciding on this? How long have you been sitting on this?
Uh, it's probably been in my head for the past year, to be honest.
Okay.
So it's been back and forth a lot. But I gotta be honest, like when it really hit me that I felt like I'm yeah, like I don't want this anymore.
Yeah.
Which was when I was in South America actually,
Really?
which was arguably my coolest tennis trip to date.
Hmm.
Like like me and Joey, like Joe, my doubles partner, we had such a great time there. But I remember just being around these guys and they were playing and we're practicing and everything, and I just really felt like I just don't want this anymore.
Wow.
And in a way, like maybe I didn't like completely decide on it like that, but it was just more like I just started to get this feeling that like I don't know if I really want this, and it doesn't really matter. And then we played good, and obviously like we played very well, and we started winning some tournaments, and
Hmm.
and like uh, but still, my whole feeling was like no matter the tournaments you play, like even if I play some ATP tournaments and whatnot, at the end of the day, the lifestyle looks it's exactly the same
Hmm.
if you're doing it right, like how you're supposed to be as a professional tennis player.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just remember I just feeling like, yeah, I'm just kind of done with this lifestyle too much. Like even if you put me in like I mean if even if you put me in an ATP circuit tomorrow, I don't think yeah, I wouldn't want to do it. Uh
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
Or the Grand Slams tomorrow. I mean, probably be cool to go play one Grand Slam or here and there, but obviously like to play the full year in order to play a Grand Slam, I don't think I would do it
Okay.
because I just feel like yeah,
Just
I'm just ready
mentally
for it.
done.
Yeah, I mean, like I love tennis again and everything, but it's just that lifestyle. It's just or that tour, I guess, that
Yeah.
I'm just over.
Wow.
I had a walk and talk here. I have 1% battery, so I just get it connected up there. Sorry,
No, you're good.
but we keep going. Hopefully,
Just enjoying the palm trees in the background. Just nice little visit through this whole house, narrating what's happening right now. That's actually a really cool banister too. I'm learning so much about this house.
my friend's getting pissed that I'm showcasing his house now.
We're looking at a very modern, classic, all white
Yeah,
wall, staring out the window onto the gorgeous terrain, and
they
that's a
just
TV.
they just moved in here, so
It's still
congrats to
very
them.
cool. It's still very cool. Um, what do you think you'll continue the channel? Do you think you'll still upload content and kind of do it slowly but on your own terms?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I have a lot of good like content. I'm probably gonna go play a match with Winston Du,
Yeah, the
and
challenge court.
yeah, exactly. And then I mean, I talked to Tennis Brothers a good amount. I talked to Karu. Maybe I'll do a video with him when I'm here. That'd be
Love
awesome.
that.
And so I mean, there's a lot of good opportunities and a lot of fun stuff for sure. I'm gonna keep trying to do,
Love that.
but it's just kind of like I don't know, trying to find a balance of it.
And now I'm staring at a wall. Palm tree in the window. We're back to staring at nothing. Simon's underneath a desk,
I'm
I
here.
believe. He's here.
It's like my my computer is like lagging because it's about to turn off and it's not working.
Is it at least charging now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Huh?
so ladies and gentlemen, we're still in
All right.
limbo right here. Let's see
I
if he
think
just
good.
pops back up. Oh, there, he just all of a sudden showed up. I'm also listening to my dog snore in the
I think the
background, so that's kind of passing. Oh, he's dreaming.
I think the I think the Wi-Fi is a little worse here in my room.
It's okay. It's a new house. They need to get extenders. Um,
Exactly.
if if
No,
you
but
were,
yeah,
I think that's great that you still want to still play and kind of enjoy the tennis part for having fun and creating content. Do you think you'll try any new content now that you'll have more downtime?
yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm not sure about the time, but obviously I love all sports. So I mean, like I'm a huge. I mean, I played paddle here yesterday with some friends, and played tennis this morning with some other friends,
Love
and
that.
golf, other sports like racket sports, everything. I
Mm,
mean, I just love sports.
yeah.
So. And I mean, I can give you a little exclusive here, but a big dream of mine has always been to kind of have this reality show or something where I take on a sport for a month and just kind of try to learn it and try to become as good as
Oh,
possible or try to approach it and just really enjoy it for a
oh,
month and share the process of it.
love
So I
that.
guess in a way that it's kind of like a mix between video podcast
Yeah,
and also like kind of like journey thing because
I love that.
I mean I could see myself doing like a rock climbing month and then
Oh,
maybe find a someone like experienced rock climber that could kind of that wanted to be a part of it to maybe give me lesson once a week or depending how much time they have.
I love that.
And I would love to just learn about rock climbing, for example. Like I know nothing about it except you're trying to climb the rock. But there's probably like so many layers of like, with technique and everything and approach and how you look at the
Mm,
rock and how you want to come at it and why you want to do that,
love
chalk
that.
and I don't know, different things. So that's what I meant, but it could maybe be like a podcasting that I'm just trying to learn about them as well and like
Yeah.
see what I can take from that and maybe my past experience here. I can approach this and yeah, I don't know,
No, that's awesome.
figure
It
it out.
would rock climbing be the number one sport you would like to try, or do you want to try any others that really interest you?
Well, I mean, I have a big love for golf, for example. So that would be
Okay.
something like I would love. Like, I mean, I've played a few golf tournaments, but I would love
Really?
to play like a club championship and be like, all right, full months. I'll be like a full month. I'll be like practicing very hard and just going through and just yeah, going through like a serious regimen, practicing for
Okay.
it and see, what I can do and just, have fun with it. And obviously be realistic about the expectations, but I think what I want that content to be about is more like the journey though, like that
Yeah.
month, like how much I'm learning about it and kind of the stuff around it.
I
And
love that.
yeah,
What's
I
your
mean,
handicap?
golf,
Yeah.
uh, I play off like a six maybe now, five, four,
You're
six.
fine. You're fine playing a tournament. My God.
Give
Man
me the
just said
month,
his handicap's a
give me the good
six.
month, and I
My gosh, it's gonna be a one by the end of the month. My God. That's so
I
nice.
mean it's been better,
Of course it
but
has.
I've
Just what
but
an
we'll work
athlete.
it.
What an athlete, Simon.
I
Absolute
don't know about that,
athlete.
but other sports are like but I would love to do like boxing or like
Ooh,
WWE, WWE wrestling. I mean,
just
not
pure
wrestling.
wrestling
No, but like UFC or something. But obviously, like if I did boxing, for example, then maybe it would be like a thing at the end of the month
where you spar
that
someone.
I'm allowed to just spar with like a pro or something,
Yeah.
or maybe I can do like an amateur local fight with like full gear. And
Ooh.
I don't know how exactly the
Your
plan of
girlfriend
it,
would
but
let you do that?
I haven't taken it up with her because
That would
she has a
be
lot of
maybe she'll be the one you're sparring with.
exactly. Yeah.
Uh, Simon, I
But
can't, but go ahead.
no, no, we'll see what happens with it. I haven't, yeah, see what
Uh,
happens. It's still kind of a thought in process that
Well, we can't wait to see what's to come with your channel. We can't wait to see what you're doing with your startup. If you still want to, if we would love to have you on anytime for the channel. Maybe we could play you if we're ever. Are you still living full time in Sweden or?
Yeah, yeah, I'm based in Sweden, so right now I'm just in LA for a few weeks, but then I'll go back to Sweden and be around Sweden most of the
And
time.
full time in Sweden,
Yeah,
correct? Okay.
so come by to Sweden. No,
I
I'll
would
set
love
something up.
to. I would love to. Stockholm Open is probably on my list of tournaments that I want to go to.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I have to hurry up for that one. I think it starts next week. So
I'm not doing not this year. Maybe next year. I'll do my month of preparation to play you, and then I'll come to Sweden and I'll see how I do. Um,
let's do it. That'll be the first
so
episode of it.
that would be the first episode. Simon, I can't thank you enough for joining us. I can't. We're gonna miss you in the YouTube community, but I know you're gonna be still doing stuff, so we can't wait to see what you do next. If you still want to follow Simon's journey, please feel free to check the links out down in the description below. Make sure to follow him on Instagram, and hopefully we can do an in-person match interview activity together sometime in the future. And make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure to leave a comment down below of if you think I could get a game off Simon. Would love to know that. Hopefully I could. And Simon, good luck this week in LA. And if you're hitting with all those guys, good luck with them. And hopefully we can get you back on the channel soon.
Appreciate it. It's been a great honor, and I already came up with the title for that. For your first episode against me. We call it like
What?
1 month, one game.
Ooh. See, he's good at this. This is why Simon's so successful on YouTube. That title right there. So Simon, thank you again. I really appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. All the best.